Hey, what's up, New Zealand and the world? Lucas Lawman's Kiwi voice. Thanks for joining us once again. You probably recognise who I've got sitting next to me. This is the man, Derek Tait, leader of the Freedom and Rights Coalition Canterbury chapter or group, who's come to have a bit of a chat with us. Now, we did actually try this, what 2 weeks ago, Derek, was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I failed miserably with my camera work. So we would have had this up earlier, but we're here. We're in a nice, quiet environment, and we're going to find out what makes this man tick and what the Freedom and Rights Coalition is about. So thanks, Derek, for joining us. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
It's awesome to have you, man. Yeah, man. Awesome to have you here. Alrighty, so we'll jump into it. So straight off, tell me a bit about Derek Tait. Who is Derek Tait?
It's $1 million question.
Yeah.
Who is Derek Tait? Well, first of all, I'm a man who really believes in morals and integrity with all people.
Yep.
I'm a husband, a father, a grandfather.
Yep.
Brother. I got a couple of sisters, a son, obviously. And I come from Rotorua, so
cool.
That's my origins, or some Māori like to say my bones are from there.
Yep. And do you get up there very much, or?
No, not often. Been away from there about 14 years, I suppose. So,
Yep.
So all of those things, I'm Māori, probably more half caste.
Yep.
So yeah,
Straight out of it. Yep.
Kiwi boy.
Yep.
Man, brought up in New Zealand, playing rugby and all the rest.
Oh,
of
nice.
it.
What position?
When I was playing like senior A, I don't know what they call it now, back in Rotorua.
Yeah.
Started out at open side.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Played a bit of hooker, open side.
Same as me.
Yeah.
I quit about 3 or 4 years ago, so I used to love it. I'm more of a basketball guy now as I've gotten older. But yeah, I was a Lucy pretty much 20 years. Never got to the prims or anything. I'm too small. But yeah, I love my ruggers. Yeah. No, cool. All right, so I'm sure most of our viewers will have an idea of what the Freedom and Rights Coalition is, but for those that don't, give us a bit of a brief understanding of what the Freedom and Rights Coalition is.
Yeah, so the Freedom and Rights Coalition is a movement across the nation.
Yep.
And as you alluded to earlier, obviously I'm here in Christchurch, Canterbury, South Island, and so we're a group of people who really believe in our freedoms, our freedom to choose, our Bill of Rights, and protecting, defending, standing for, all of those things. So, so.
And now, did it form, or did the organisation form in response to all the crap that's been going on the last couple of years? Pretty
much. Yeah. But we could, like a lot of people, I suppose. Yeah. We could see it coming.
Yep.
So we just thought, well, we need to do something about it.
Yep.
And so the Freedom and Rights Coalition was founded and started by Brian Tamaki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So across the nation, different leaders, different people helping to organise, lead. From different walks.
So you're saying different people popped up around the country in terms of leadership, etc. That actually leads me into my next question. So, how did you get into the leadership role in Canterbury? Because my understanding is initially that wasn't necessarily the case, or have you always been the leader? Have I got that wrong?
No, I've always been from the word go the leader in Canterbury.
Right.
Christchurch. Yeah. So when we formed the Freedom and Rights Coalition, we actually formed it on Zoom.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think at that time we're all in...
Adhering to rules?
We're all in levels. Levels, I think.
Oh, yep. I'm back to level 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. And I think at that time, the South Island, we might have been level 2. In the North Island, Auckland, anyway, level 3 or 4, I can't remember.
Yep.
So we had to sort of get together on the Zoom and formulate something and just share our hearts about the whole thing with our nation and what's happening.
Yep.
Because we've always been a group who have helped people and wanted to help people.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So this was in a different arena, if you like.
Sure.
Yeah.
And how did it? Because it's growing. Yeah. So how did the growth come about? Did it just happen naturally through the online sort of channels, or did it grow the more protest movement or action that you had, or how did it grow?
Yeah, I think the key has always been our unity. So when you talk about growth, you can have a name, you can have the advertising, which is all important.
Yep.
But when you're all on the same page and you're all about the same thing, then I don't know. Most people will tend to gravitate towards something that's unified and in order. Yeah.
Yeah. So you think it just sort of naturally occurred in word of mouth and
and I guess our sort of getting it out there through social media.
Yep.
And actually stepping up and stepping out. Now, I don't know at the time. I think when we did our first one, October the 2nd, Saturday, October the 2nd, I don't know if there was too much happening in the way of protest stands, marches.
Yep.
There would have been smaller groups, I suppose.
Yep.
Individuals gathering together and trying to make a stand.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with it. Like, I actually joined it through Voices for Freedom initially in terms of the freedom movement, and then I got directed into a group chat, and I actually discovered the Freedom and Rights Coalition through that. And then I had no idea that stuff was going on. And that would have been probably the second or third one. You said October. I think I was towards the end of October, start of November when I first turned up. So yeah, I mean, obviously that was through social media, but the word of mouth came from a friend who said, look, here's Voices for Freedom. They link with Freedom and Rights Coalition, and so that was how I found about it.
Word of mouth is good, eh?
Yeah. Cool. So what drives you? I mean, every Saturday we're out there, we're marching. You're getting the voice going, and sometimes sounding hoarse from a lot of that. What keeps you driven to keep coming out and doing this sort of thing?
People like my family. Obviously, everything starts at home. Well, that's how I feel and believe. My family, our country, and with things that are happening, that's what drives me. And I think about, obviously, my future, but more importantly, the future of my kids and my grandkids.
Yes.
And the future of our country as a whole. And that's what gives me energy. It fuels my fire. That's what drives me, keeps me going. That's
what I get from in the interviews in the middle of the marches. Almost everyone, because I say, what brings you out to protest, and they say, well, look, it's for the future as well as today, So that probably leads me on, in terms of kids, etc., and what the world's going to be like for them. So that probably leads me on to, it's worth bringing up now. With the restrictions being wound back inch by inch, little bit by little bit, do you think that, so why and the Prime Minister has sort of indicated that they are going to drop these things eventually, maybe soon. What do you think the value is of continuing to go out and protest? I think there's value there, but just from your perspective, what do you think that's about?
I think the value is we haven't achieved nothing yet, really, in the sense.
Yes.
And to be honest, I don't trust it. I don't trust this government.
I understand.
And they've done nothing to earn trust. And I think with polls starting to dip, and they're all a year out, a couple of years, whatever it is from
next election,
election and all the rest of it. They're going to pull out all the dirty tricks and all that sort of thing. So
you think there's an element of just vote grabbing there, essentially?
Yeah, definitely. And it seems to be, as Kiwis, we have short memories.
The whole no one will ever be mandated, and how the fact that sits there for all to see it. That's I try not to have too much debates with people that are on the other side of the fence necessarily, because obviously it often doesn't go well. But the fact that the people can't see that hey, we're never going to mandate anyone, and then we mandated everyone. So how do you come back from that for anything? So I hear what you're saying in terms of when a politician of any ilk says we're dropping restrictions shortly. You just got to wait for it to happen before you actually know it's happening.
I guarantee you, if I stood up on Saturday and I said said a blatant lie, or I said something and the next week I reneged on it, I guarantee you the media would crucify me.
100%, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. And that actually leads perfectly into my next question, and that is the mainstream media. Probably a favourite topic of yours, favourite topic of a lot of people. So, you've had numerous mainstream outlets, Stuff, News Hub, etc., that have had a real crack at you personally. How have you dealt with that? Have you ignored it? Have you used it as motivation? How have you dealt with that?
Yeah, I haven't ignored it, and it is motivation, and it's water off a duck's back. It's okay. Sometimes it makes me laugh. Because I think, oh wow. The things these fellas come up with is
Well, the one that got me was when they said they had teed up an interview. I think it was Stuff had teed up an interview with you. You decided it wasn't the right idea at the last minute, and yet they still wrote this full article and they had a real good go. And I was like, full article. I was like, what? How can you write that when you still haven't even talked to them?
And I thought, oh, gee, this fella's been through my Facebook and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Excellent. So it's good to know that doesn't bother you so much. Now, Christchurch seems to get consistently large crowds from where I'm sitting. I mean, I get bits and pieces from independent media people like myself. Obviously, mainstream media does cover a bit of the protest action from time to time, not all times, time to time. But it looks like that the numbers in Auckland and Wellington, although they are sometimes large, they fluctuate more than Christchurch seems to have this larger base. What do you think it is about Christchurch or Canterbury that's making these thousands of people turn up every weekend and not having those big fluctuations?
I think it's the consistency in having them. It's the consistency in our message. It's been integral and true to what our message has been from the start, and that's basically unity around freedom of choice. So whether you're vaxxed or unvaxxed or boosters or whatever, everyone's accepted and welcome because that's their free will and they're free to choose. And we respect each other and all those sorts of things. So and I think like if you've been on a march in Christchurch, and a lot of your viewers probably have, for those who haven't, just the I don't know, the atmosphere and the culture and the acceptance and the feel of it is just...
And I would go with that because it is that unifying feeling. Because, I mean, again, it leads into this conversation's going really well. It's leading into all my questions. The division that's currently exists in New Zealand society, and it's... I feel it in the air. Different people feel it different ways. So do you think that's correct, that New Zealand is divided as a society and that these marches provide somewhere unifying for people to come?
Big time. Big time New Zealand's divided, whether it's families, races. Like I can't go back up to, I can't go to my marae in Rotorua. Because I have to be vaxxed or double vaxxed or whatever it is.
That must peeve you off.
And I mean, so you've got families. I think I was raised like most of us, where the saying "nothing comes before family." Hello. This little bug. Divided families.
It has. Funerals and everything. That is killer.
Weddings. So many horror stories I've heard over the last couple of years where people can't go to, say, their nephew's first birthday. Because they're not welcome because they might have a bug or whatever. But it's huge division. Through the nation. I mean, there's division in churches, from churches to gangs. There's division. Divided. So, like what you said about our marches in Christchurch, just seem to have a real, genuine feel of unity. Which is beautiful.
It is, and that's what's really kept me coming back every single week from that one last year. When I walked in, I have to say that first time, and like I said, end of October, start of November, when it was, it just felt like, I'm here. These are my people. It really did sort of release that sort of overriding feeling of division in the atmosphere. However you want to believe in that, people.
It's I think it's one of the biggest modern day miracles is to actually get unity at any level.
It is now.
If you can get a level of unity. And the thing is, like, we all understand, like the mainstream media, I can see them coming.
Yep.
So they're bringing disunity right across the nation, the government, and all that sort of thing. The thing that gets me is internally, when an individual or a group try to bring disunity within ourselves,
yes,
that's what I'm guarding against.
Yeah, gotcha. Gotcha. So you think that some of that has cropped up through the Wellington protests and other bits and pieces?
It's across the nation. The Wellington protests, definitely.
Yep.
You know, here in Christchurch,
yep.
There's been, what do I call them? The division
agents.
Yeah. Trying to bring division.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, as I mentioned, or as we've just sort of touched on, that this government, which we may not trust, but they have come out and said that the restrictions are going to be dropping, etc. And if that goes ahead, they remove the vaccine passes, traffic light system, and all the crap that's putting these people in the position where they feel like they want to go out and march. If that all goes, what's the Freedom and Rights Coalition's focus going to be? If things have some kind of normality after that's all done, what are we going to look at then?
The end game.
Yeah. Well. So, I mean, are we going to continue to have protests, and what would it be against, or are there other plans after?
Yeah.
If everything went back to some form of normality and these restrictions went, what are the Freedom and Rights Coalition going to be looking at then?
Well, we want to keep marching because, obviously, with the weather changing, I've been looking at that from a practical point of view. I'm not going to be marching in the blinking cold and rain and winter.
Yeah.
But I think we need to keep marching because, for me, we need to remove this government.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a bridge too far, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when I talk about this, when I talk about removing the current corrupt government, it's all of them. And I feel like I've just come to the foot of the mountain.
Yeah.
Mount Everest, and I look up and think, whoa. But every time I think of that, I think of what Sir Edmund Hillary said.
Right.
When he got to the foot of the mountain, Mount Everest, he looked up and he said, "You can't get any bigger, I can."
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's a good quote. Yeah.
And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, okay.
Because some people are like, you're bitten off more than you can chew. And I said, well, you know what? What's the other saying? You eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Yeah, right. So would that sort of indicate to me that the Freedom and Rights Coalition might look at a political party to take this government on, or is that potentially where it might go?
No. We don't want to start a political party. We want to work with the minor parties. And to be honest, like for me personally here in Christchurch, and I said it on Saturday, I'd be willing to work with and help Leighton.
Leighton Baker.
Yeah. So we're not starting a party. We want to work with anybody, any party, anybody who is not the status quo, who's not the current corrupt political system.
Yeah, right.
From the ground up, from the people in our midst. So on
I'll just stop that.
Sunday night I had a meeting with 150, 200 people out Waimek, out Rangiora.
Oh yeah, okay.
And basically it was about how can we change things at a local level, so with councillors and the mayor, and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
And looking at people within our midst, who are keen to run and put themselves in that position.
Got you. Okay. So that's a different tactic, and I appreciate that. So rather than putting the Freedom and Rights Coalition name out there as a political party, you're just going to be more of a political advocate in certain areas. Yeah. That'd be a fair statement.
Help others.
Yep.
I mean, like I say, Leighton's an example.
Yep.
There are others. People have said to me, "Am I going to put my name in?" And I've said, "Well, yeah." I still don't know, to be honest. Right. But I'm in a place in my life and with everything that's happening that whatever it takes to change things,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, understand. I've had a look at the political side of things myself. It does kind of interest me because I feel like I might have something to offer, but it's just such an ugly machine to get into, isn't it?
Well, I think I said on Saturday, I said a lot of things, but I said, if you want to be the heavyweight champion of the world, you got to get in the ring with them. You don't stand on the sideline and criticise it. And it's the same with politics. It needs to be changed. It needs to be cleaned out.
So that's essentially everything covered off, Derek, so appreciate that. Have you got any other further messages or anything you want to put out for the people out in internet land?
Yeah, I have actually.
Cool.
Text support, the word support, text support to 5477. And so when you do that, that'll explain it probably better than I can. Don't worry, it's not a trap.
It's not telemarketing?
No. I do think you have to have credits on your phone though to do it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But you won't. We won't be billing you or nothing.
Yep.
So that'll be around the whole thing to do with a political strategy and plan. And again, the Freedom and Rights Coalition. I'm not starting a party here. I want to support smaller parties to go up against these mongrels.
Yeah, understand. Yeah. Now, and that's good timing. I'm going to look at doing on Kiwi Voice. I don't know if you picked up my vid I did on the major political parties and just their key policies. I'm going to do the same thing with the minors. So I'm going to jump on and do the New Conservatives, the New National Party, and explain what they're about. So that'll tie in quite well.
So one of our main, I guess it's a policy, is to enshrine and protect the Bill of Rights, never to be touched again by anybody.
Nice and simple. Yeah. And powerful.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, well, thanks heaps for joining us, Derek, once again. I appreciate it. It's been really cool catching up with you.
Cool.
So thanks, everyone, for taking the time to watch this yarn. Comment down below. Hit that like button and share the links around if you're watching this on Facebook. If you're watching it on YouTube, you know the drill. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already yet. But for now, we're going to let Derek carry on his way. We'll catch us all tomorrow at the Freedom and Rights Coalition March at Latimer Square, isn't it? Yep, 11 a.m. It'll be the same organised, I can say with confidence after 20 times of attending these things, it'll be the same organised, sharp but powerful march. So keep an eye on the channel tomorrow night or Sunday for the coverage of that. But for now, team, stay safe, stay free, and Derek and I will see you again real soon.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome.